Hello everybody, this is TubeMix here and hope you're well. And it's Doctor Who Day, the 23rd of November, so by the time this is out, 59 years, of course, next year will be the 60th, and yeah, we'll definitely look forward to that with David Tennant back and Ncuti Gatwa, of course, following after him. I can't remember if I talked about this in the Instagram live, but I watched Children in Need and it was pretty good actually, and Millie Gibson was revealed. If you know who she was in Coronation Street, and CBBC's Jamie Johnson, you might have seen her in that, and she's the new companion called Ruby Sunday, which is an interesting name. I ended up singing the lyrics to the Rolling Stones song. Oh my goodness, Ruby Tuesday. That's it. I sung the lyrics to the song when they mentioned her name, and Ben Moss, who's a good friend of the channel, of course. His dad did the same. So yeah, it's quite funny. Great minds think alike. Well, this kind of relates to Doctor Who. Now, most of you will know my love for old TV, particularly children's television, and Doctor Who. So, if you follow me on Twitter, then you perhaps already know. If you don't, then that's why I did this video. So basically, I don't know if any of you have watched Jack's or listened to Jack's Throwback Attacks podcast. Well, their videos on YouTube, and he's a local radio DJ, not big, Jack Hayward, and he's interviewed someone that not interviewed, but I met twice, Dave Benson Phillips, one of my favourites, and I really do recommend. Unfortunately, Jack has had to pause the podcast due to his health, so I do wish him all the best and hopefully gets better soon. And it kind of inspired me, what if I could do that, maybe interview. Now, it is ambitious, of course, because like Jack, I'm not a big YouTuber and I'm not a big star, so of course it is, tricky. But, there's no harm having a bit of ambition. And it's an idea I've been mulling over for quite some time. It's often yes, and then it was like no, and then yes, and then no. Then I thought, do you know what? Go for it. And if they say no, then there's nothing to lose. So potentially, I'm going to be interviewing Janet Hurst. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard of her. Well, if you follow my Twitter, then I follow her, and I proposed the idea to her. I tweeted her, would she be up for it? And she thanked me for the invitation and thought it'd be a nice idea. So potentially, I'm going to be interviewing Janet Ellis. Now, it's not all sorted, it's not certain yet, that's why I say potentially, but potentially it could be obviously very exciting for me personally, of course, and for the channel. Janet was a presenter of the legendary children's show Blue Peter. She also presented, she sort of, I guess, was more of an actress but she was in one of the most unique children's television programs called Jigsaw, and in fact, those of you who might have watched it in the 80s will remember it. Mr. Nosy Bomb probably had a lot of nightmares from that, from her co-presenter Adrian Headley. Do that. So yeah. So yeah, I guess she's kind of responsible for that. And she's done so many things. She's presented Channel 5's Housebusters. I don't know if you used to watch that. I watched House Doctor with Anne-Marie's, but I don't remember Housebusters, although I think there is actually a few on YouTube. Yes, in fact, I think because I was looking for House Doctor and I did see Housebusters, and yeah, I said, oh, Janet Ellis. And this was before, mostly on Twitter and Instagram and stuff even. I didn't post as regularly even on the YouTube channel. So yeah, and as well as that, she was in an episode of Doctor Who playing Princess. Well, the character's name is spelled T-E-K-A. So I don't know whether it's Tika or Tekka. Tika, at a guess. So as you can see, being in Doctor Who and me being interested in old kids TV, she'd be, a perfect person. So yes. And she has a podcast called Twice Upon a Time. So if you're interested in books, and I imagine a lot of people are interested, I would recommend that podcast. Actually, it's where she interviews a guest and a celebrity about their favourite book, and it's really enjoyable. Listen, actually, I need to binge watch. binge listen. Sorry, to Twice Upon a Time, because I do need to catch up. But yeah, it's a great podcast. I do recommend. So yes, and she loves Disney films, so I think that could be interesting to people as well. I think there's lots of discussion points, if we were to do this interview, and I think it'd be really fantastic for me personally, like I said, and the channel, and I think a lot of people would certainly enjoy it, because a lot of people have grown up with Janet on Blue Peter, and maybe a lot of people enjoy her podcast Twice Upon a Time, and maybe people are, because she's also an author actually, so maybe you brought one of her books, and she loves musicals, so again, I think there's lots of potential good discussion points, I think, for people to have in the comments, of it as well, and yes, so potentially could be quite exciting for the channel, but there's still a few things to obviously sort out first, so I will let you know. And initially I was going to not mention it at all, or not mention it until I knew it was definitely happening, or if it wasn't happening, I wasn't, you wouldn't have known about it because I wouldn't have even mentioned it. But I thought, actually, no, I thought I'd keep you in the loop of, because, it could be a very exciting thing for my channel. And that's why I wanted to tell you about it. So, yes, so as I said, potentially could be an interview with Janet Ellis, which would be absolutely fantastic. And, I think you'd enjoy it, and I know certainly I would enjoy it as well. So, yeah, I just thought I'd come on quickly to tell you that, and quite fitting that this video going on Doctor Who Day. It's quite amazing actually that after one episode, and I don't think it was big role as such, although I haven't watched the Horns of Nimon. But Janet still does conventions, which, you know, you could expect the big Doctor Who stars to have done it, but, you know, even as someone to have done one episode, well, in those days, they were split into 4 parts, but for someone to have done just one episode and to still do conventions is, you know, pretty amazing. And it just, I mean, the whole world of Doctor Who and the fandom, and yeah, it's absolutely, was really blown away, really, because considered, you know, people don't really think of Doctor Who for it, really. Well, maybe the Whovians do, but people probably most know it for Blue Peter, and of course she is mother to the singer Sophie Ellis-Bextor as well. So yeah, right. Well, I'll leave it there, and I'll let you know what happens if it doesn't happen. Put my tooth back in, Will. If it doesn't end up happening, then I'll let you know. And if it does end up happening, then I will let you know. So yeah, it can go both ways. And if it doesn't happen, you know, I'm all right about that. I will continue to follow Janet's adventures on Twitter and Instagram. Although you can follow on Instagram, but generally Twitter is the place to follow her, because she tends to tweet, be more active on there more as well. Right, so I'll leave it there. So if you want to like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and Voyage, in case you didn't see the Instagram live, well, it's all in the can, as they say. I refilmed my intro, even wearing the same sweater, so no continuity errors. I mean, I'm a big person for continuity. Yeah, I like things to be pretty much looking the same. So yeah, it was a bizarre issue with the sound went out, and the sound went out at the beginning, and then was, you know, for the first few, quite a gap, and then there was sound, and I haven't touched the speakers or anything, so, but, and then I listened to the, you know, watched the video of me, you know, doing my intro again, and it was absolutely fine. So an absolute mystery, really it is. It's one of those things. But yeah, Voyage will be dropping this Saturday, and yeah, kicking off the Christmas album reviews. I mean, I'm already in the mood, like I said, in my sweater. All right, well, I'll leave it there. If you want to like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel, and I'll see you soon.